Hey guys, long time no talk, and I'm live on Facebook too. How is everybody? I know it's been crazy with the holidays and just life in general. So I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys. Anybody that's on Facebook, please go and give my YouTube channel a follow. Just chill. I'll actually drop the link below my live once I publish, so you guys can give me a follow. Turn on those notifications. Make sure you guys know I'm gonna go live. My lives I'm working on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I hate to say I'm working on because it always seems like something comes up and I always put my stuff off last. So like going live because it's one of the things that I'm not like the biggest fan of doing. So it's something I need to overcome. But I have a great cheerleading squad that's always encouraged me to go live. So they don't let it slide. Um but it's definitely one of my weaknesses. If you would have told me 2 or 3 years ago that I'd be going live 3 days a week and talking about either my story or motivation, mindset, and positivity, yeah, I would have told you you're crazy for sure. Because that was not me. I don't like to speak in front of people. I wanted like nothing to do with any of that. Um, but anyway, so that was a limiting belief of mine. I didn't think I was good, so I didn't do it. And you can't get good at something if you don't ever do it, now can you? So, but today, as you see, I titled this, limiting beliefs and how they hold you back. A lot of people that are on my Facebook, my YouTube, anything like that, a good portion of us didn't come from entrepreneurial background or money. We came from go to school, get a degree, work hard, punch a clock, work 9 to 5, and things like that. My grandmother was born in like 1918, and she was really like old school about that kind of stuff. When I told her back in the day, like I was like, a little kid, I was like, oh, I wanted to act and I wanted to sing and all this. She's like, oh, people like us don't do that. And my mother never raised me like that. My mother was a very like positive, like hippie type of woman. And my mom was like, you don't tell her that kind of stuff. She can do whatever she wants, anything she puts her mind to, she can do. So, and my grandmother was like, well, people like us don't do that kind of stuff. Then, like, I swear, like, to this day, like, that blew my mind that she actually told me that because I was young. I was probably about, I don't know, 8 or 9 or something like that. And my mom always was about supporting my dreams and goals and stuff as much as she could. They didn't have a lot of money, but they said, they would encourage me and they would never put me down or anything like that. But, somewhere along those lines, I always like to, around this time of year, and I know it's a controversial topic about like Santa Claus for a lot of people, we can believe in Santa Claus for so many years of our life. And we encourage our kids or like younger people to. I did. My sister was 10 years younger, and God, I love the spirit of Christmas. I'm very Christmassy, as you guys can see around here. Um, I'll have a tree behind me the next week when I'm live, actually. But somewhere we lose that imagination. And when we lose that imagination and like the vision of like make believe, that's where like a lot of people's dreams and thoughts come from. When you really think about it, manifestation, prayers, miracles, they all come from your imagination, your creativity process. Like how much can you believe in yourself? Because everybody always thinks like vision is something that you have to see, but it's not about seeing it. It's about having it in your mind first. You have to think about it. You have to figure out something you want to do and not let anybody else like taint that thought. That's why so many times, like I always joke, like I work in the cloak of darkness just because I'm more of a night person. But you can't let other people taint your goals and your dreams because if they haven't achieved it, a lot of times they're going to give you your opinion, and their opinion is really not needed whatsoever. Honestly, as long as you can see what you want to do and the universe, I'm a firm believer, will definitely show you a way. Like I can't even believe I'm sitting here in Texas, and yeah, I never thought I was going to live in Texas. I never thought I'd be an entrepreneur. I was supposed to go to school and work hard. I was wanted to leave Pennsylvania and go to Cali and travel the world as a nurse and things like that. And that didn't happen. Once my dad died, like I stuck around for a few years to help my mom with my sister, like a good 10 years. Not quite 10. But Texas wasn't on my map. And then I met a guy, and it led to Texas, and here I am. And my one good friend Robert, he said the same thing. He's like, I'll never move to Texas, and he's like, since I've been in Texas, he's had some of like the best breakthroughs and different things go on in his life since he moved. The universe just leads you down different paths for a reason. And I don't know if anybody goes to CBC, but they're talking about it. Like, so many times in our life, we're like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I don't know how many of you on here can relate to me. And I do like when he's talking in the chat. I don't know if he's there talking, but, and like your plans change. And a lot of times you're like, man, why did that happen? I wanted to go to school, get a good job, get married, have this house, these cars, this many kids, and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it's like, bam, your career changes, or you get a new job in a different state, or that relationship doesn't working out, and you're like, why God, why universe, why did that happen? And like, yeah, we pray for certain things, and we pray for like these things, and we have to realize sometimes the universe or God sees better, different things for us than we even know. Or sometimes things are removed from our life because it wasn't going to take us on that path. It wasn't the best path for us. And we have such a hard time because we say we want that. And the gentleman that was giving the service this Saturday was such a good service. He said he has a kid, and his kid's younger and does gymnastics and stuff like that. And his son doesn't want him on the floor when he's doing gymnastics. He says, no, Daddy, you go over there. And when things are going on in the universe and we ask for help from God or whatever you want to say it is, and things happen, we're like, no, we want all the miracles, but we don't want your help or guidance sometimes. It's true. It's just so crazy. It's one of those ones where when things are going on in our life, a lot of times we think it's because of something we did, but a lot of times it's for our protection. Just driving to meet with the team the other weekend. I was actually last Thursday, and I ran a few minutes late, but there was a big accident on 410. Anybody from Texas knows 410 is absolutely crazy. And, it's one of those ones where most people get upset because of traffic, and I don't have road rage. I usually turn my music up and jam out a little bit longer. It's fine. It is what it is. But I was with my friend Robert, and he's like, man, just think if we, sometimes a little disorganized, but he's like, just think if we left right on time. He's like, you could have been in that accident. That's facts. Like, sometimes you couldn't find your phone charger, or you forgot where you put your keys, or you misplaced something on purpose. Like, the universe did it on purpose to protect you from being in that car accident. Yeah, you're 10 minutes late, but God, you get there with your life. And like the things we have to be thankful for. And I see so many people get upset over the silliest things, and I'm all about positivity and good vibes. And I guess it's probably because I've been through so much different stuff in my life. But you can't sweat those little things, and you have to look at them as blessings. And even if it's something that's not the best, man, don't look at it as an L. Look at it as a lesson. What did you learn from it? I read so many good books on stuff like that, and I've usually been the more optimistic person in my life. But sometimes when you go through stuff, you start to lose that. And I wasn't very optimistic probably about 2 years ago, and I still have my days, trust me. But when things are going on, like, I have to look at it and be like, why? Why is this happening? What is this teaching me? What am I learning from this? I did a TikTok on it or something like that. Like, when you ask God for courage, he gives you problems. When you want love, he gives you unlovable people. A lot of stuff just happens in different ways, and we have to, I remember, it's change your thinking. And like, this is named limiting beliefs. It's really about how you look at things. I was that person. And God, if you ever realized how positive or powerful your thoughts were. I was that woman that said, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck. God, that's horrible, because you just attract more and more of these bad things where I hear people that say, oh, well, I'm shy, I'm this, I'm that. And like I said, 4 years ago, I said, oh, I'm not a public speaker. I don't like to talk in front of people, and I'm not good at this, and I'm not good at that. Well, if you say you're not good at something, you're not. It's one of my favorite quotes. Used to have it hanging on my office. I really think I'm getting an office space in January. But anyway, a new office space, which I'm pretty excited about. But keep everybody posted on that one soon. But the quote was, if you say you can, you're right. If you say you can't, you're right. And if you say you're shy, where did you get that from? Why are you shy? Or if you say you're extroverted, why? It's probably something somebody told you, especially if it's something that's limiting you. A lot of people will be like, oh, you're extra. Or like people say I'm extra. And I'm like, where did that even come from? And a lot of times when you hear these kind of thoughts, it's probably something somebody had said to you in your past. I had a good friend I was talking to through messages the other day, and I said something to me, and yeah, they're probably gonna watch this, and they were like, oh, I don't do this or I don't do that, and I'm like, stop. I'm like, don't do that, because I've done that my whole life, and it held me back from so many different things. Everything I wanted has always been on that other side of fear, from the new job to the different type of lifestyle to trying out new types of clothes to workout routines. And it's crazy because like even like back in the day, like the way I looked at people or women, a lot of times when people are mean or judgmental, it's because there's something with them. And I look back to when I wasn't so personally developed and I wasn't so well rounded. I'd look at some women and I'd be like, God, she dresses like that, because I was jealous. And I wouldn't have never admitted it that then. Not in a million years would I have admitted it then. But the woman had a gorgeous body or, whatever, and maybe she had tighter clothes on, or anyway, it doesn't matter. But like it was like an envy and a jealousy thing. So when I hear people get upset at because of what other people say, I'm like, it's so not you. It's a reflection of them. You have to look at the person that said it and like, what are they going through? Are they happy with themselves? Especially if it's something about body image. And like a lot of times they're not happy with themselves and they're just going to take it out on someone else. And people can't even fathom that. They're like, but they said that about me. I'm like, okay. They said you just happened to be that person that day that, got the blunt of that. I said, that's horrible. I said, and when I hear that kind of stuff now, I just feel bad for the people. And trust me, a lot of negativity slides in my DMs, and it's just crazy. Like when you're positive, God, it irritates other people's demons. And I don't even believe it, because like on Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram, when I'm positive and I'm on my walks and stuff like that, I lose followers all the time. I'm like, okay. But if I was on there ranting and raving or something like that, I swear, the drama attracts people. But being grateful and stuff like that. They always said like drama and sex sells, but God doesn't. Gratitude is my go-to. I'm forever grateful just because of all the things that I've been through, where I'm at, and I do take the time to enjoy the little things. And I miss my walks because it has been so dreary in San Antonio for like the last 3 weeks that it's crazy. But I'm hopefully going to get to go for a walk here. It's probably going to be after dark. I have a few more meetings, but yeah, we have to really get over our limiting beliefs. So many people don't go on and tell their story on Facebook or IG or YouTube because they're worried about what other people are going to say. But your story is your story. And if you don't want to share it, that's fine. Your story is your story. But your story may help somebody else get through something. It might be what that person needed to hear today. It might be what saves somebody. So many times when people are going through things, they don't want to talk to people, and they think they're the only one going through those problems, or they don't see how that there could be a light at the end of the tunnel, or they have a lot of grief because there's loss, especially at this time of year. And they just don't know what to do or who to turn to. And sometimes it's easier to turn to somebody on social media they don't know. I have people that slide in my DMs all the time and ask me about my positivity. And I had one gentleman on Snapchat the one day, I posted a quote about success. And he listed a bunch of things to me. And he's like, am I successful? I said, I'm not the judge of that. I said, I can't be the judge of that. I said, are you happy? And me and him ended up talking for like 8 hours. I don't think I ever talked to him after that again, honestly, because, Snapchat has memes and I don't know what people look like usually on Snapchat. But he was like, wow, you took all this time throughout the day to talk to me. But he needed somebody to talk to, and he was very thankful and very nice. But sometimes it's easier to talk to somebody you don't know. It's the craziest thing. I'm not ever mean to people unless they're mean to me. And people are like, why are you so nice? Because I know what it's like not to have somebody be nice to me. I know what it's like to be disrespectful. I know what a disrespected, or for people to judge you on your picture or on your quotes or whatever. Like some guy slid in my DMs one time, like hating on my nails and telling me how superficial and this and that I was. I was like, he's like, is that all you have to post? And I'm like, my page is so random. It stays positivity and motivation and things like that. And I'm like, I post my nails. So hopefully other women that want to post their nails or get their nails done get ideas and have the courage to post their nails and stuff like that. And I'm like, if you've been following me this long, you know my page is so random. My page is just to help people get through those rough days, to make sure there is positivity and love and light out there. Because gosh, I really don't see a lot that's posted on Facebook. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know a lot of you, follow me and follow my stories and stuff like that, but I don't like to scroll on social media because I've run across such negativity and ugly stuff. And I'm like, you have to protect your energy, your vibe, no matter what. And I just don't even like letting that stuff in my life. And it's crazy because even like, that's why you don't go on there. It bothers me. I'm like, how could people post this kind of stuff? Or I'm like, why would you even talk about that kind of stuff? I'm like, it just blows my mind what society gets fixated on and how they'll spend their time talking about things that isn't going to even matter in 5 minutes. But now they've put it into the internet and it's forever out there. And I'm like, I don't get it. So one of my limiting beliefs is I may look like I'm always on social media, but I'm really not. I like to post my good energy and my good vibes, and I usually hop off. So I post a lot, but I'm not actually on there all the time. I love to I'm telling you, most of the people that I hear, I swear, like Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Eric Thomas, like very motivational quotes that I keep on my page and things that I'm constantly hearing if I'm on there. Even on my TikTok, if you go on there, I do post some silly stuff, trust me. Not quite into the dances, but I do post some funny things. But I love supporting small businesses. So even if you're a small business owner below, drop it in there and like, let's help each other grow. I just launched my credit repair business and my e-commerce stores and stuff like that. So I'm always about the small businesses and entrepreneurs, especially in San Antonio. I just got back into networking again and I love it. I went to a networking meeting last Thursday. So if you are local, hopefully I'll actually get to meet you guys out and see you at local meetings and stuff like that. But we have to stop telling ourselves what we're good at, what we're bad at, things like that. You have to just go for it. Of course, you can tell yourself what you're good at. Pat yourself on the back. I'm a firm believer of the gold star method. You did something good today. Pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. But don't be too hard on yourself, especially around the holidays. The holidays is so rough. God, and I get it. There's a lot of bad stuff out there, but like there's a happiness and joy. And like you see, like my house looks like Christmas throughout in it. I love the holidays, don't get me wrong, but I've had a loss, and sometimes it amplifies grief. It really does. So don't be hard on yourself if you have a bad day. We're allowed to have mental health days, and I know so many people don't say that. I don't care if you're a guy, I don't care if you're a woman, I don't care if you're a teenager. You're allowed to have a mental health day. We always think we can only stop and rest if we're ill. We have, like a fever and like the flu. But sometimes you have to heal. You have to feel those emotions, process them. You can stop for a minute. You can't stay there, but you got to process it so you can actually get through it. And then we put it behind us. We learn from it more than anything. That's what a lot of us don't like to do. We like to just suppress our emotions, good, bad, and ugly. And then they come out, unfortunately, at bad times, like sometimes when you're drinking or the holidays or when other things in life don't go right. And trust me, I get it. But take time for you. I don't care if it's, even as a guy, go for a massage, pedicure. I see a lot of my dudes that hopped on here. Take a hot minute for yourself to de-stress. I know you've got kids, wives, lives, and it's not easy for you either. And I never knock that. And for women, it's not easy either. We all have our own trials and tribulations of different calibers. I get it. But we all have to take the time to actually take care of ourselves, because if we don't take care of ourselves, your business isn't going to thrive. Your life isn't going to thrive. You can't pour from an empty cup. And so many of us work so hard to, and I mean, a lot of us, I was that workaholic that liked to work and not process any emotions. And then I had to take a step back because I was starting to burn out because I was just working to forget pretty much. and I had to develop personal development, therapy, gym, healthy stuff. And that's what really got me through. You can't, sometimes you can't drink away stuff, drug away stuff, or workout stuff. And I'm not saying, you know, some people do it to forget. You got to find a healthy moderation for your exercise, for personal development. And I know you all see my reels, Mind, Body, and Soul. But guys, like, really make sure this time of year you take that time for you. Any time of year. Don't think it's just a Christmas thing. I don't want anybody to be like, well, she gave us a free pass now. No, you got to make time for you. I don't care if you want to. I love my walks, and everybody thinks I do it for health. It's more like when I ground myself, like it's centering, like meditation. As you can see, I'm a fidgeter. Like I don't sit still well at all. I don't sit still well at all. So meditation some days is harder for me. But when I go for my walks, like that 45 minutes is me just thinking through what happened throughout the day, how I could have done things differently, processing it. Or if I walk in the morning, it's how my day is going to go, what I got planned. I like my walks, my me time. I jam out to some music when I'm on them. Like it's just, yeah, like I said, it's centering, it's grounding. 3 miles. And if anybody ever sees me walk, like I'm usually jamming out. So I really do like it. It's one of those ones where if you would have told me a few years ago I'd be walking 3 miles like every day, and I'd feel weird when I didn't, I'd be like, okay. Oh my gosh. I look back to December of 2018, barely worked out. I don't walk. I drank a lot more than I drink now. I love my wine, but I've been getting healthier and better with that. And I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. Quit that, for the most part. Not perfect with that yet either, but it was such a different version, and it was so unhealthy. And like I look back, I was so numb. It was survival of the fittest, and I did what I did to get through it. And then when my life fell apart in January because my husband killed himself, like I went on autopilot for a long time. And like I said, I worked really hard and grinded really hard. That's how I started trading. I dove like head first into learning Forex. Love it. I mean, sort of glad I picked that instead of getting drunk or messed up all the time and things like that. I definitely could have went a totally different path. So I'm glad I picked diving into a trade instead of other ways. But when when it hit like the 1 year mark, it was January 2020. That was a rough night. January 19th, 2020. I was like, man, I got to do something. I'm like, you're burnt out. I was just not happy where I was at. Yeah, I was working out. I had quit smoking, but I needed that personal development part. I needed to get back with church and stuff like that, and I did. And I actually started working out. It wasn't quite January. I started my workout journey February of 2020. Fell out of church for a little while because COVID happened and stuff like that, and I really like to go to church instead of watching it. I like the vibe more in person, but it's just totally different when you're actually there in person. I don't know. It's the energy. It's especially if you go to the CBC here in San Antonio. It's just such good vibes. There's always good messages. Very heartfelt. They always hit home, and yeah, it's what I need. I either go Saturday or Sunday, but I just got back into that probably in the past month and a half, and I don't know why I fell out of it. Like I said, I'm gonna blame COVID, but it opened back up, and I just never started really going back to it. I think I maybe went back once or twice after COVID, but masks were still in, and I wasn't a big fan of masks. So now that there's no masks and stuff, yeah, I like going. Definitely is my nice balance, my yin, my yang. But with the holidays coming up, guys, I know it's rough for everybody. It is, for sure. And like I said, my DMs are open if you want to need somebody to talk to online, Sometimes it's just easier to talk to a stranger or somebody that's been through something. I get it. God, do I get it? I'm not very good at talking. I'm more of an avoider. I like to smile and keep on my merry way. That was my problem. When I was first healing, like I used to, everybody be like, how are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm good. And I know other people on this live can relate to that. It was like an auto response, and people were like, your husband just died. What do you mean? And I'd be like, oh, well, yeah, besides that, I'm good though. And they'd be like, what? Because it was just, I didn't deal with it. I like pushed it aside. Like I said, I went on autopilot. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing to be numb like that. I wasn't even numb. I was numb in front of people because I had to be, because I didn't want to show them that mess. But like I called myself tripolar, and I still have my tripolar moments. Go from like being sad to sometimes you feel happy, and then you felt guilty about feeling happy, and then you would get angry about stuff that was going on, and it was just, oh. And I read a lot of books on that too, and that apparently is semi-normal. But it says you heal through things. Like there's stages of grief, and it's not like everybody thinks where it's nice and uniformed. Oh my gosh, it's 1 minute, you're in stage 1, you're stage 4. It's all over the place. It just depends on how you heal. And like my new tattoo says, like, everybody's perfectly imperfect. Like, nobody's perfect. Nobody's supposed to be. Who would want the world to be carbon copies? That would be so boring. I remember as a kid, I had a shirt that said "Normal's boring," and like my mom was like, "Oh, I don't want to be normal. I don't know what normal is, but I love to be different. I love to stand out. Love to help people, like that, good vibes and stuff like that." So many people nowadays are pessimistic, and even when you walk around in a good mood, like some people are like, "Oh my god, are you always happy? What kind of drugs are you on?" I'm like, "Because I'm happy." I'm like, but if I walked outside and told people I was cranky or having a crappy day and was just in a bad mood, everybody would accept that like there was no tomorrow. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, man, I get it. It's me too." But when you're in a good mood, me and my hairdresser talk about that all the time because she has the same like crazy energy like me, and she's like, "Everybody always thinks I'm crazy for being like this." She's like, "I don't want to be down and sad." She's like, "There's too much good going on in the world to be like that." I know there's a lot of bad too, but I feel like when, like I said, if you think about it, that's what you attract. When you think about the good stuff and you see the good stuff, people like don't understand why I'm always posting like pictures of my sunrises or my sunsets. And I don't know how many people I've met that don't take the time to even like take that kind of stuff. And they're like, "I'm too busy. I don't look at the sky." I'm like, you don't take the time to look up at the sky. I think it's just so gorgeous. I'm not much of an artist. I'd love to learn how to paint and actually catch that kind of depth and that kind of detail because I don't have a very steady hand to draw. But oh, just the way the clouds line the sky sometimes and the details and the layers of colors, like it's gorgeous. And it's stuff you'll never be able to buy in a painting or anything like that. I think people that are artistic are amazing because, they always say beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and they get to draw the way they see things or how they see the world. I know when I take pictures of like the moon at night sometimes or the sunset, I'm like, that's not how it looks. I'm like, the camera did it no justice whatsoever. I'm like, that's dumb. But on those ones where we have to change the way we think, the whole world does. And I say that all the time, society's so lost. Gosh, don't follow them. They are so lost. Like I'm at the gym 5 days a week. And yes, I go in the morning and then I walk and stuff like that. And people think it's crazy that I do that. But they're the same people that are at the bar 5 or 6 days a week. And that's normal. And I don't knock it because I used to drink more than I should have. And yeah, I get it. But like when I say I read instead of watch TV, people think that's crazy. And I love to read. Like I said, I have such a good imagination. Like I like to read fiction though. I really do. Because I love to be able to formulate the pictures and see the pictures in my head and everything like that. So society though just is, I always say everybody wants everything to be insta perfect. And insta perfect is so not real. Insta perfect, insta quick. Everybody wants that overnight success. They all want to be Bezos, but they only want to do an hour of work a day. Or they don't want to spend any money to make any money. And I get it. But even anybody that has a degree will tell them, like you got a degree. How much money did you spend? Or if you start a brick and mortar business and buy a franchise, how much money did you spend to learn a trade like to become a mechanic? Some people are taught by their parents and stuff like that, which is pretty cool because they actually had somebody to help them. It's awesome. But if you have to go to a trade school, it still costs you money. Guys, I know I've only been on here about a half hour, but I am working on getting on here more often. 3 times a week. 3 times a week is my goal. And I don't always go live on Facebook. I go live between IG. I think next time I'm actually going to go live on TikTok because I finally have enough followers to go live on TikTok. If you don't follow me, go follow me on TikTok. All of my stuff's in my link tree. Definitely, if you guys need help with credit, I'm doing credit repair now. Amazing how quick we can get stuff off your credit. DM me and we'll sit down and talk about that. If you guys, of course, are ever interested in crypto or foreign exchange or e-commerce, hit me up. I love to sit down and talk about that kind of stuff, and I can definitely tell you how you can get started. I know it's that season, and a lot of people don't want to do a side hustle now, but afterwards you might need that hustle to, get your credit back up to par after the holidays, or a little extra cash to pay off those holiday bills. But guys, if you need anything, let me know. I love getting on here and talking to you. Like I said, 3 times a week. So I'm going to alternate between all my social medias. And if you don't see me, it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday on YouTube. It'll be YouTube all the time. You can turn on the notifications on the YouTube and actually get notified when I go live. So that way you can watch me on YouTube, or you can go back. My goal is between 3 and 4 Eastern Standard Time, or not 3 and 4 Eastern Standard Time, 3 and 4 Central Standard Time to go live. Anyway, love you guys. I hope you all have a good Monday. I will be seeing you on Wednesday. Talk to you soon.